Hi skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com. Welcome to episode 16, or at least what I think is episode 16 of our Top 5 Fridays news videos. As always, if you don't normally, go and check out the written version of the video or the article version of the video. My esteemed colleague Matt does a great job putting them together. Really fun reading through his opinion of everything. So yeah, check that out. We're putting the final finishing touches on our 2021 ski test. So keep an eye out for that next week. Pending any major issues, it'll be up next week. So keep an eye out for that. We're pretty excited about it. Really excited to share it with you. Yeah, we've been working hard on it, so it's exciting that it's almost done. And yeah, let's just jump right into the news. I'm going to kind of run through things quickly this week, or maybe a little quicker than I often do, mainly just because I want to get back to polishing up this ski test for you. So a lot of COVID-19 related news this week, unsurprisingly. First up, we have the Boston and Denver Snowbound festivals have both been canceled. And I'm not too surprised by this at all, but it's one of the first, those events are kind of the start of the ski season in many ways for a lot of people. So we're starting to see some actual concrete effects of COVID-19 going into the ski season. In my opinion, these are kind of two of the first major things to be canceled. I guess there were some others, like the U.S. Open of snowboarding was canceled in Vail, and a few other things. But yeah, so the Boston Snowbound Festival used to be the Boston Ski Expo. Basically, SIA, Snow Sports Industry of America, they purchased both events last fall, and they recently decided to cancel both events. Now, these are kind of one part trade show, one part just big, massive sale, open to the public, as opposed to kind of the industry trade shows that are closed off to the public that happen during the season for the following season. I'm sure there are a lot of people bummed about this. I know I've never actually been down to the Boston Ski Expo myself, or what is now the Snowbound Festival, but I do know a lot of people that have gone, and I've seen a lot of footage and just reports out of that, and I know it's well attended, and people in that area really like going to it. So I'm sure people are bummed out, but I think the positive side of this is those aren't make or break events for the ski season. Like, people can get gear, people can get their passes, people can achieve everything that they previously achieved at the Boston Ski Expo or the Denver show. They're just going to have to do it a slightly different way. More online shopping, stuff like that. But not completely detrimental to the ski season. So yay, could be worse. Now, I think this is a good transition for the second topic of the week. We got open letters to the public from both the Vail CEO, Rob Katz, who we reference a lot, and also the Aspen Skiing Company CEO, Mike Kaplan. Now, there are a little bit different tones in these two letters, but I think ultimately they're probably on the same page. Now, Mike Kaplan refers to the upcoming season as a potential old school experience, in a sense that we need to kind of think about what the reasons why we ski, what makes it special, what are the experiences that we value most about going skiing, and try and get back to those, because those experiences, if you're thinking about the same things that I am, are pretty easy to do while socially distancing. The actual skiing part, the being out in the mountains part. Now, we also get kind of some logistics updates, and it seems like limited crowd size is somewhat of a foregone conclusion for them, but obviously we'll have to keep an eye on this. For logistics updates, increased social distancing, so we'll get mazes and stuff like that, and marks on the ground, I'm sure, to retain 6-foot social distancing. I would expect that they will require face coverings, almost definitely. They're going to install a bunch more outdoor heated areas, which are really nice. I'm thinking Copper, the little village in Copper, there's a ton of these outside heating spots, and there's more and more. There's some at Stowe here, and I really like them because you can hang out outside and be comfortable, and I think in a situation like this, they're going to be very valuable. We're also going to get touchless digital lift tickets and menus, so, you know, pretty much just eliminating touch points wherever they can, which is pretty much a theme. You know, I've been playing a lot of golf this summer, and at the course that I play, we're not allowed to touch the pin. They have little things that you hook with your putter and pull the ball up, so you're not actually, there's not a touch point that everyone's sharing, which I think is really cool. Also, they took out the bunker rakes. It's awesome. Anyways, back to skiing. I'm sure you guys don't care about golf. And then on the Vail side of things, Rob's letter was a little bit more, it had more of the tone of, you know, let's not drop our guard. So, you know, kind of a reminder just to stay vigilant. And he broke that down into two things. One, we cannot get complacent, and two, safety is not optional. And when I was reading this, I was thinking about our great state of Vermont. Vermont has done a really, really good job at dealing with COVID-19. We have like the fewest cases in the country, but anywhere in Vermont, pretty much, people are still staying very, very vigilant and very safe, which I think is really important to, you know, if we can bring all these numbers down, if we can enter into the ski season with as few cases as possible, it's going to help everybody in the long run. And ultimately, I think both of these guys share the overall sentiment that despite the fact that the upcoming season is probably going to be different in some ways, it's still going to be really good. So I like that positivity, and I agree. That's kind of been my mindset from the get-go. It's like, sure, things might be different, but I guarantee it's still going to be fun. Try and snow outside and stop me from having fun. I dare you. Next up, Wolf Creek. You know, they're a little different than Aspen and Vail, and they're kind of approaching things a little bit differently. Well, not totally differently, but a little bit differently in the sense that they're putting out a survey to the public and asking the public for a bunch of different stuff, a bunch of different answers to different questions. You know, they're looking at ability levels, frequency of visitation, enthusiasm for lower density skiing, and then a lot of other stuff. And from what we've seen, this is the first example of a ski organization or a ski resort reaching out to the public to gather information. And essentially the goal is to then present that information to Governor Polis as a way of maybe avoiding blanket restrictions, in the sense that Wolf Creek is much different than like a Vail or an Aspen or a Breckenridge or, you know, all the like real popular super resorts, so to speak. So I thought that was really interesting. You know, fill out you can access the survey. I'll leave a link to it. But we just ask you not to fill it out unless it's relevant to you, because this is, you know, they're taking this stuff seriously. So don't go fill out the survey with a bunch of random stuff. And then number 4, Saddleback in Maine is on track to open, which is awesome. I'm from Maine. I have a lot of memories skiing Saddleback as a kid. Didn't get up there too often, but I'd guess 5 to 10 times. Pretty sure this scar on my face is from skiing Saddleback. I'll have to ask my mom about that. But yeah, Saddleback is on track to reopen despite COVID concerns. And this is something that we've been following on Top 5 Fridays long before we started doing these videos. So head on over to the written version, and then Matt left links to like all the different times that we've referenced it if you want to look back at the whole story. Pretty interesting story. Saddleback's a really cool mountain. And yeah, they're on track. So they had, I think it was 38 million. I have a typo in my notes that says 3 million, but that's not true. Pretty sure it was $38 million development plans, and they're making really good progress on that and set to reopen. So I'm just psyched to hear that, and I'm sure skiers in Maine are excited about that as well. And then lastly, we have our edits of the week. A bit of a slow week for edits this week, but we still found some good ones to share with you. The first one is just what I would describe as a really classic feel-good springtime postseason jump session. Those are some of my favorite memories in skiing is situations like this where you're just with your friends building jumps and having fun. Next up, we have Armada's Ritalic the movie. If you haven't seen this, it's been out for a little while, about 27 minutes long. Some amazing skiing there, as I'm sure you would expect. And then third, this just popped up on my personal YouTube feed today. I'm not sure why, but I figured I'd send it to Matt, or I sent it to Matt and said, no, why don't we share this one with them? It's Jesper Tjeder's Unrealistic 2. So if you've never seen his Unrealistic edits, they're pretty amazing, pretty mind-boggling, physics-defying type stuff. And that's it. I think I kept that short, not sure, but I apologize if you wanted it longer, but we got a lot of ski test stuff to polish up so we can share it with you next week. So thanks for joining me. As always, we will talk to you soon. We'll be back next Friday with another Top 5 Fridays, and hopefully in that one we can say we hope you're liking the ski test instead of look out for the ski test. So thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon.